So love it or hate it, that's the idea behind the artistry of it. If you'd like to follow the process of turning a block of wood like this into a guitar like this, then you've come to the right place. And if you would like to see me give this guitar away, click subscribe, hit the bell. Well, here we are. Welcome back to Let's Build a Guitar. Today, gonna start walking through how I got the finish that I've got on it so far. Now, this is by far not yet complete. There's a lot to do on here, but I want to show you today a little of what I've done to get the golden color. I had some rules that I had to follow. There was specific wood that was sent to me, and he wanted to see this wood grain here, right? So wood grain's got to be seen, but wants it golden in color. And you know, you can't just really make wood look gold. I mean, you can make it a gold stain, but it just still comes out looking more like an orangish yellowish wood. It doesn't look like gold, right? And so then we've also got 24 karat gold leaf covering part of this. The gold is working its way into the body itself, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But let's right now just kind of catch up to where we're at with the body as it is right now. All right, guys, I'm going to do a little experimenting. I've got some pieces of maple here, a few different pieces of maple. Gold stain with gold fleck in, and then gold leaf in certain areas. And he's telling me to be creative. So I got some of the Mixol gold. It's a gold infused metallic gold stain. I've never used it, so we're gonna experiment. I'm gonna try. I got myself a little jar here so I can save whatever I come up with. Let's see what we get. You always want to be able to make sure these get sealed up well, or your stain is just gonna disappear a bit. So I'm going to just put some denatured alcohol in there. See what happens. Let's just give it a couple drops once. Let's see if that even mixes up. Well, it really didn't mix at all. Metallic Effect Concentrate. I've used Mixol stain before, and I thought that's what this is, but maybe not. How am I supposed to use this stuff? It's really not letting me see through so much. See it? Definitely got a gold metallic flake. I guess it does let me see through somewhat, but not as much as I want it to. Okay, I'm going to try and dilute it a little bit here. See what happens. Okay, that's allowing me to see through it now. I don't know. Maybe? I wonder what would happen if I put a layer of yellow stain under and then put this stuff over top. Alright, I pulled out some yellow. So what happens if I do yellow? Well, it's a little bit of a goldish. I mean, it's yellow, but it's got a gold tint to it. I'm just going to put a dab on here once and move it around and see what happens. Some interesting stuff. See, the thing is, I don't want it to just be like paint. I want to be able to see. Well, I can kind of see the, especially at an angle, I can still see the waves in the wood. Maybe that's the way to do it, actually. I did some yellow, see, and this is just the yellow on the side, and then gold here, and depending on how I turn it, I don't know if that changes it at all or not for you to see, but there's gold there. And then I could put some gold fleck on top. Okay, well, there's definitely a big difference between the one that I just put the gold on and the one with the yellow with gold. This has the gold in it, but you can definitely see the wood there some more. I don't know, maybe a dab more of this once. Well, I think I'm gonna let this one dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna like lightly sand off some of it. See what happens if we can get it to kind of just fill in, or maybe I will try on another one here yet. I'm gonna do the same thing as this one. I'm going to put gold on it, then I'll lightly sand off the gold so that it just kind of sticks in certain areas, And then I'll go over top of that with a little yellow and maybe a little bit more orange. Part of that, see what happens there. This one was yellow underneath. Let me put this other light on, maybe that'll help actually. This one was yellow underneath, and I put the gold over top, and then I sanded a good chunk of the gold off. And that actually seems like it might work to show the grain. You can see the grain in there, and we want the grain to show. Because again, he wanted gold stain, right? So this will give it the gold. It's got a base layer color underneath, and you can see the curly maple, and that's what I want to be able to get. Now the guitars themselves are a quilted maple. Well, I'll grab one here quick. So these, as you can see, are a quilted. It's not the curly maple, it's a quilted maple. So it's going to look a little bit different, but this way we'll be able to get, should be able to get that to come out. And I think that looks fairly gold by comparison to just, here's the yellow, and there's the gold. So I think that's going to work. So this one today, I just finally stained with a mixture of yellow and then some amber that I kind of mixed together to get a little bit of a golden tone to it. I mean, it's yellowish, but it's kind of a little bit mustardy, I know, but I'm trying to get as close to as I can to the tone of gold, like actual gold. So I'm trying to get to that tone. I've got this ready for diamonds to be put in the sides, jewels to go in. I got to figure a few things out. Now I get artistic. Let me put this back. So now I'm going to begin to put some gold leaf on this, which is going to really make it pop. Also, I've got some extra diamonds, and yes, guys, these are real diamonds. Each of those diamonds is bigger than the diamond that's in my wife's wedding ring. So, not saying that she's got a great big diamond, but that's pretty crazy. But we're gonna get creative here. Now, what I did, man, I feel like I'm really doing some experimenting, okay? So the gold on here, you can kind of see there is a little bit of gold, like there's a layer of some gold on there over top of just the stain. And what I did is I used this Mixol. It is a gold Mixol. There are no instructions on this. I tried looking on the internet, and I mean, it says you can mix it with a few different things, but like I tried mixing this with some denatured alcohol, and it just didn't mix. There were a number of things that I kind of just tried to do. Really what it's intended for is to put some of this in your clear coat when you spray. What I did, my first mistake was basically I tried this. I tried it out with a couple of, with a block, and I tried some things, and I just kind of painted it on. And then on the one that I painted on, I still went over again with my stain, which the first time I tried doing this, I put that gold on, and then I tried putting the stain, or no, I didn't even try putting stain over top of it. I put stain on first, then I put the gold stuff on, and it kind of works more like a paint. But I left it for like 3 days, and it didn't dry at all. It just stayed kind of oily. And so what I found out was I took a rag and I just kind of wiped it off. I mean, it just literally wiped it off. I reapplied some. And then when I reapplied, I also reapplied some stain on top of it like I did with that first block of wood. And that actually kind of made it stick somewhat more firm. So I wiped it off to leave kind of these streaks of gold metallic in alongside with the grain. I did that, And then I just used some polyurethane and I just sprayed one light layer over the entire guitar with polyurethane after that set there for a few days. So this has been weeks of work trying to get to this point. And that actually now, like, this does not rub off. I cannot get this to rub off, which I don't want it to. So perfect. So one layer. So essentially painted this on, wiped it thin the way I wanted it with a little bit of the stain on top of it, kind of spread it out, let it dry good, use some polyurethane, one layer of polyurethane, and that's how I got what I got. This is not a finished product though, because never was my intention for it to look like it is right now. The next step is I'm going to be using some 24 karat gold leaf. You know, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap way to finish out a guitar, but this isn't a guitar that's going to be cheap. Let's be honest. This is going to be flashier than I would ever have for a guitar for myself because, hey, I'm just not a flashy guy. Not very much anyway. I'm pretty much a flannel shirt, t-shirt type of guy, right? The customer, Mr. X, he's a flashy guy. And he's got a place to be flashy. I mean, he's out in California and doing music and working with Universal Studios and stuff. He does flashy stuff. I get to be creative, but I'm also pioneering here, as my wife says. I'm pioneering some things. It's like, how is this going to all work together to have a gold guitar, but still see wood grain popping out in places? And yeah, what's all that going to look like? That's what we're trying to figure out right now. I want to work gold leaf, kind of this whole horn gold leaf, into kind of breaking away and then having some gold leaf down here. And I may try to work in some patterns with it as well. Last night I got just this little bit of gold put on this gold leaf. It's expensive, so I want to keep every little bit I can, so I got some of this cardstock black paper. And then once it's on, and you can see it looks all kind of crusty, or I don't know, flaky obviously, but you just take a light brush and start brushing it off. And I want to brush this off so that I can save these pieces, you know. So I'm just kind of lightly going over it. See all that coming off of there? Look at that. Once I've put the big piece of leaf over it, then I touch up using the little flex and using the tweezers that I can bring things into place here. So this stuff is so hard to work with. It's ridiculously difficult. If you breathe out of your nose or anything, it like blows it away. The static electricity, like I'll go to grab a piece and it'll sometimes just jump away from me because of the static electricity. And if you try to touch it, you'll do more damage than you will fix. So you just kind of dab a little at times with this, and it just takes a long time to do. It's really putsy. It's frustrating to work with, but hey, making it happen here. I've done a little bit of a mock-up of the first guitar, the guitar called Hope. This is the one for Mr. X. I wrote a little verse to go along with it because I want to show it to you, but I want you to understand what you're looking at, because this one, he told me to go all out artistic on it, right? Now, he gave me some specifications. One, he had this wood sent to me, so he wants the wood to be seen, right? He wants the wood stained gold. He wants actual 24 karat gold on it. He sent me diamonds. Yes, real diamonds. He also wants one guitar named Hope, another guitar named Love. And so I wanted to symbolize hope and love, and my idea for Hope kind of came to fruition, and I wrote this: Hope, the rarest jewel, comets from heaven escorting the most precious metal, celestial gift of renewal, the streets of gold, lavish love, enter this world of travail, emanating heaven, originating hope. The idea of it is that these diamonds are like comets coming out of the heavens and pulling with them 24 karat gold. So the idea of gold kind of representing heaven, the celestial, heaven, streets of gold, and these comets are pulling the gold into the earth where there is travail, there's trouble, there's struggle, right? And so we're pulling heaven, bits of heaven to earth is the idea, causing us to look to heaven where our hope is, right? Okay, so that's kind of the idea. So here we go. Now, the other thing is, I'm going to show this to you. Come down on top of it here. So as you can see, here's the idea. So this is actually 24 karat gold leaf. The green obviously is just tape over the frets right now. But this is gold leaf. I've got gold stain on the wood, but gold stain on the wood doesn't look gold unless you've got actual gold there to make it look gold. Otherwise it just looks kind of like a yellowish, orangish wood, right? So 24 karat gold going into the wood. There is definitely a curly maple thing going on here. See if you can see that a little bit. I'll try and... Okay, now the placement of the diamonds. So I've got a diamond here, 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 and they're not just a circle around of diamonds, and they look like they might be a little random because you see different spacing there. Actually, what this is tipping a hat to is Prince's song, Arms of Orion, and so this is actually Orion's belt. And this would be the top part of the torso coming up, just a couple of what would be like the stars. So tipping a hat to that. So I got a little bit of the constellation going there. So Orion's belt right there. So guys, this is kind of the idea. Now, obviously I don't have a thick coating of clear coat on here yet. So you need to kind of be imaginative. Picture it with a nice, shiny, thick coat of clear coat all over it, and this is just a mock-up. Over here by the 1/4 inch jack, I've got a little bit more of a design. I'll show that to you here. And then down here by the 1/4 inch jack, I've got this little bit more of a design, and that's going to tie this guitar into the guitar that's going to be named Love. Also, if you look down the neck here, I've got, this is 24 karat gold dust on the fretboard, kind of sprinkled in a little bit. I may put a little more in here yet, not exactly sure, we'll see, but with one of the sprays. Now some of this will sand off yet, so essentially what I've done with some of this is it's got a spray of clear coat on, and then when it was tacky, getting some of the gold dust on there, then I will lightly sand it off. There'll just be a little bit left in, okay? So love it or hate it, that's the idea behind the artistry of it. It will be one of a kind. There's not another one like it, that's for sure. It's fun that he has brought me into this process and I get to be a part of it. And he's given me freedom to just do my artistic thoughts, put them out there. And I've showed him what I've got so far, and he is absolutely thrilled. So that's a good thing. It's nice to know that he really likes where I'm going with this. Hey, I just want to thank everyone for watching. coming to Let's Build a Guitar and seeing me do some pretty unconventional things with these guitars, especially with this guitar finish with this gold for Mr. X's guitars. Come back next time and let's see how that finish turns out. And then we're going to start adding some diamonds to it and putting the guitar together. It's been fun. Thanks for checking me out today. Please like, please subscribe. See you next time.